Hello. Today's live coding session about Tao Presentations is going to be about drawing functions and curves. So let me start by drawing a simple path manually. So I can do a line 2, 0, 0, and then line 2, 100, and let's say 100, and then line 2, 200, and back to 0 here. So that's X and Y each time, and I can change the color, for instance, line color, red, color, light gray, and you see that I have the basis for my curves here if I can only repeat that easily. So let me make this black, transparent here, line width of 1, and now I'm going to repeat these lines here with something like this: draw a function with minus 100 to 100, where I define draw function of x as being line 2 of, so let me spread a bit, 2 times x along the horizontal axis, and 100 times sine of x. Okay, so this is the beginning of a sine wave, and let me spread this slightly like this. Now, of course, I can make this more complex, like exponential of minus x times 0.01, and I get this decreasing amplitude function there. So now, in order for this to really look nice, I probably want to add some kind of axis. So let me add a color red here with an arrow centered in the middle of the screen. So 150 here times 2, so that goes from minus 300 to plus 300. So my arrow needs to be something like 650 wide and maybe 10 high. And then the point, so that's the size of the tip, 20 pixels, and it's going to be 10%, like this. Okay, so I can create another one similar to this one, but rotated 90 degrees along the z-axis, which is crossing the screen, and that's going to be just the same except a bit shorter, like 450 should do, 550. Okay, what about drawing an axis behind there like this? So minus let's try this, where I define axis of n as being a line from, or maybe I can draw that with a rectangle at 0, 0, 650, 1, and I probably want this to be in a different color, so I'll fix it here. And now I want this to be on the y-axis, something like 20 times n, and now minus 10 to 10. Okay, so I'm just adjusting it visually there, and then I'm going to just do the same thing with this rotation, and I draw the axis color light gray, same thing. And I'm going to do an axis with minus 15 to 15. I have this grid now. Let me call that is the x-axis. And call this the y-axis. Like this. Well, I'm going to make this just 550. Okay, so now I'm drawing my curve, and the last thing I want to do is to make it slightly easier to draw a function with whatever function I want in it. So let me do this by having draw a curve that would draw, so it would take the curve name and maybe a color with a curve name. And that would be something like this. So let me create a variable called y. That's just for convenience. And we are going to do, so create two variables called x and y. And I'm going to do for x in minus 150 to 150. I loop, I execute the curve here, and I do a line 2 times x, 100 times y. And let me prefix that with, so here I'm going to color this with line color, line width. Okay, so now let me try to draw a curve. Blue 1, and I'm going to write that y is sine x times 0.2. So I'm putting this between brackets. Okay, it's complaining about x not existing here because it's a little x. No path for. Okay, it's complaining because there is no path here. So of course I need to create a path first and put this for loop inside the path. Okay, so now it's doing what I want. So you see that if I change this one, for instance, to green and the width to 2, and my curve is like this, and I can draw yet another one that would be blue. Y is let's make it just a cosine, just to have the change in phase. So now I can draw my curves pretty easily in my document. Just one last bit is to have parameters that actually depend on the mouse position. So now I can have something like to explain phase and amplitude, or phase and frequency. So let me call that frec plus phase, and phase would be 0.0, frec would be 0.2, so that's the default, same as we had before, but now I'm going to do this frec is 0.2 plus 0.02 times mouse x, and the phase is 0.01 times mouse y. And now you can see that I can change the frequency like this. Okay, it's probably a better idea to adjust the frequency with y and phase with x like this. Okay, so now I'm shifting the phase and changing the frequency. And I guess having this have a smaller effect makes it easier to manipulate like this. Okay, so now final step. Let me remove this here because that becomes equivalent to drawing this. Draw a curve, black one, and that would be y is with a small x. And since I put the one, I multiplied by 100 in my curve drawing code, it's no longer needed here. Okay, let's see. I think that's the issue. Okay, so now I'm drawing this curve and I'm going to take these 3 items and put that in a slide and call this bit here draw axis. I need these at the top, and now like this. Okay, so now I import keyboard theme keyboard and draw a picture slide. If I use curves, I put this inside. And I probably need to scale this up a bit, scale 150% maybe, like this. Enlarge this window. And so now I have this interactive, maybe I should just change the color of this background there to dark blue and dark blue. And we have this interactive curve drawing presentation. So I hope that this was interesting to you, and come back for more in a couple of days.